Hey, this week's episode of One of a Kind with RVD is presented by Happy Hippo. Check it out.
Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam! I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, weighing 230 pounds.
Howard Finkel. Oh, what I do?
I screwed it up.
You had me all cued.
I screwed it up. You were muted anyways. So we didn't even hear it. So we'll fix it in post. Okay. What's up, everybody? This is Dominic D'Angelo. It's One of a Kind with RVD. It's RVDTV.com. It's RVD's YouTube channel. Guess who's here then, everybody? I've said the name several times already. It's Rob Van Dam. Rob, good to see you, my brother.
Peace. Oh, am I off mute? Yeah, man. Yeah. Happy Monday, dude.
Happy Monday. Do you like the Monday nights? Are you liking the Monday nights?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm liking it, too. I think it's a nice change of pace. You know? You got more time to take out the trash on Thursdays now.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
A good way to look at it. So, yeah, I mean, this works out as well as anything.
Yes, indeed. Got to shout out some folks in the chat here. Maddie's here. Triple E is in the house. We got Candido fan, Jem the Dawn, who's making plans to be in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend. So good stuff there. Marco from Greek Glass, RVD420.com in the house as well. So shout out to everybody in here tuning in. And
dude, when I was out of my seat, I'm looking for these fucking sliders. I want to do a bong hit for Greek Glass with their bong, and then I realized you got to put the fucking slider in there, otherwise it's not hitting the water. When how much water I put in there, and I know there's sliders around here somewhere, and so it just, I might have to have you take over for a second while I hunt those fucking things down.
You can hunt them down for sure if you need to. I can definitely plug some stuff. Cool. You got some appearances coming up too, don't you? So I'd be happy to plug that kind of stuff too while you do the search, while you're on the case.
2026 looks like it's gonna be pretty damn busy.
You're gonna be a busy man. Not only do you got twins, but you got some dates too. So
yeah.
How's the babies doing?
Really good. Babies are good. You know, not a lot of change. I can't say that. Karma hasn't said "I love you, Daddy" yet. You know, anything like that. It's probably still gonna be a little while.
She's giving you the silent treatment.
No, she says "wah" and yeah, like that. But she's sweet. Yeah. But yeah, nothing amazing on the amazingly different on that front. Dealing with the babies, the fucking dude. Just like always, all I do is sift through offers and see like what might work and what might not as far as all these bookings, and getting lots and lots of quite interest, let's say. But yeah, I'm going to be really busy, but also I'm getting so many wrestling requests, you know, that I have to I got to do like I always do and reconsider the value of it. And you know, every time someone hits me up, my price goes up. So
right. Yeah. So you're getting hit up so much that you're like, I might have to bump it up.
Well, I'm not past that point.
Oh yeah,
I am past that point. But I am, you know, right now just wondering, like, maybe I'll wrestle a little more than I thought I would this year at the same time, you know.
So how is your not your ankles, your heels, everything like that? Are you back ready to go almost? Or?
I feel awesome. Yeah. Training like really hard and training good, sleeping good, getting in the peptides. This morning, or I guess it's noonish probably, I popped one of these Happy Hippo Kratom Super Mints, right?
Yeah. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, it's a mint. You see one's missing there. That's the evidence.
It's proof.
Yeah. Says 115 milligram, and you know, how do you compare that to grams? And you know, but I don't know. But I'll tell you this: it made me happy all day. Like it was awesome. Like I just felt good. Felt good while I was working out. You know, normal day this week might involve some stiffness in my back, you know, and that builds up like throughout the first couple hours of being up, walking around. But today, man, I took that thing like so long ago, and it's like it says rapid release, but I think that it has a long. I don't know the whole half-lives when you get into like. That's a whole confusing subject when you get into interactions with drugs or things that you take into your body, and they say it has this much of a half-life, and then it continues on to live, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, dude, I recommend these, you know, just because I'm just saying I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to knowing I got 2 more I can count on when I need to have a happy day. I see why they call it Happy Hippo, because I was just in a good mood all day. And then, you know, fucking great workout in the gym, fucking in the sauna, in the jacuzzi, the whole enchilada. And I actually had an enchilada afterwards.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, heck yeah. Well, hey, let me ask you, since I'm a novice with Kratom and everything like that, from a workout perspective, how does that kind of help you, Kratom?
Man, it just made me feel good. It made me feel, you know, like no nagging, you know, like, my wrist is hurting today, so I got to work around, you know, certain exercises and stuff. And it just made, I was just like, wow, I feel like really good. Like not just pain-free, but in a good mood, you know. It just felt like, man, today's a great day, you know. It just put me in that kind of a perspective. And you know, as far as working out, I had a great workout. Sometimes when you got nagging pains or tired, fatigue, or just not motivated, there's a bunch of reasons why sometimes it's hard to, you know, get through a good workout. But I just was reminded several times throughout the day, and one was at the end of my workout when I was like, damn, that's right, man, I took that Kratom mint earlier. That's probably why I feel so good, because there wasn't anything else to put it on.
Yeah. Well, how about that? No, that's interesting. Yes, Happy Hippo, check it out. RVD 2026. Check it out.
Right now, I am going to spark this up. Spark them if you got them. If you so
desire. Got them indeed. Spark them, no doubt about it.
It's that time.
It's that time. I know Maddie's partaking, I'm sure. And should be good stuff. So let's see.
What part of Australia is Maddie in? Isn't he in Melbourne?
Maddie, give us clarification on that. Yeah, what part of Australia are you from again?
Come in there soon.
Ooh, that's right. Did you just get booked for Australia?
No, that one's been on the table for a while, actually.
Could you imagine you and Maddie meeting up? That'd be something.
Bring me a platypus, bro. I want to hold a platypus.
That's on the docket. You haven't held a platypus before, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
No,
I have not.
That'd be a neat experience for sure. Jem the Dawn says one of your baby's first words will be RVD.
Hey, maybe so.
Man, that'd be nice, huh? McKinsey does follow up. So your feet have recovered. I know they derailed you in 2025.
Yep. That's the last match I had was in April when I broke both for MLW. Yep, it's true. And so it's been a bit of a comeback, you know. So now I haven't wrestled since yet, you know. Imagine my feet will be probably a little bit sore, but they're not holding me back now from running, training, spinning, kicking.
That's
jumping,
great.
Being RVD. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Man, I can't wait to see you take on Logan Paul at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas this year.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
You never know. The possibilities are endless in this world. And everybody watching, listening, you can and will manifest the life that you get.
That's awesome. Yes, indeed. Hey, speaking of some RVDology, Frankie actually wanted you to drop a little bit on this topic. RVDology on being too damn sensitive.
Yeah, well,
pretty good one.
Yeah. The thing with people being sensitive I find it's a lot of it is about themselves. Maybe not all of it, but that's what a lot of it comes down to. It's like it's from the ego, you know, like we are brought up
RVD
to be, and I know this is gonna get some some unfavorable feedback when I say this, but why do we have to be so gay on ourselves? You know, like the whole time we're taught to believe, you know, to portray that we are, you know, the best looking person in the room. And whether you believe it or not, you sell yourself as that package. Why? Because it's all you got? Maybe, but also your ego is part of your self-defense. It's survival. You have to have survival instincts to live, and your ego is part of that. But it's part that needs some reprogramming when you're an adult, because your ego will tell you, your ego will tell you that you're in trouble when you're not. Your ego will tell you that you're being challenged, that you got to put up your defense. And sometimes it's when you don't really, because it could be somebody just saying something and you being sensitive because you let your ego out of control. And that's really what it's about. It's that simple. So it's like if someone says, hey, you know, don't show so-and-so, he'll probably eat the whole thing. And if your first instincts, you know, are like, I got to strike back. Somebody's coming after me right now, and I gotta, you know, I gotta put my fucking defense up and survive this encounter and be like, me, you're the one that ate the fucking cake the other night. You know, it's your first thought is I gotta strike, you know, boom. I gotta take the offensive or oh shit. What if we just used emotion to overcome ego? And what if we were able to gauge the harm or lack of harm that we're really in, and then be able to react in a more logical and reasonable state? That's part of reprogramming yourself as an adult, and you do it because you want to grow. You don't like the way you reacted in the past. You don't want to be that person. You know what I mean? Like you look back with regret when you said like, oh man, you know what? I shouldn't have jumped down his throat so quick. I should have just laughed it off. What did it mean anyway, really? But we got to take time and reflect in order to come up with that perspective. And that's just because you don't have yourself trained in that way. But that's one of the great ways to reprogram yourself as an adult is to don't take things personally. It's one of the 4 agreements in the book. And I know you guys read that. Don't take it so personally. If somebody says something, first off, you don't agree with it. So there's no reason to get that upset. You know, damn it, he's right. I was going to eat the whole thing. I'm a fat bastard. You're not thinking that. You're just thinking I'm under attack. and gauge the attack. You know, is it somebody that's coming at you with a knife, or is it somebody that's saying some bullshit that you really don't agree with anyway? You don't respect his version of the truth. You don't think that he's saying anything that has any solid weight to it anyway. It's just that you're offended that he's trying to attack you. So you know what? Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. And if you're sensitive about other things, it's usually not that, though. You know what I mean? But yeah, like if maybe you're overly sensitive when you hear people talk about bashing Indian culture and Americans feeling like this country is theirs. No, if you're sensitive about that, it's probably because you're related. It's a core firsthand perspective kind of thing that makes you sensitive. And you know what? Fucking toughen up. If you don't want to be, sometimes being sensitive, sometimes people could be a lot more sensitive. It's not a bad thing. A lot of people don't have sensitivity where they need it. They're not aware of, they don't care about, they've got no empathy. So anyone else's feelings are not something that they give a shit about. They don't care about reading the room because they don't give a fuck, because they're insensitive bastards, and they could use a little bit of what you think you might have too much of. But to work on that, you know, just look at it for what it is and retrain yourself and grab control of your ego.
Absolutely. Ego is a big thing. Like, I think too, it's to an extent, sensitivity is almost like a generational thing, regards to like, Rob, I think you're Gen X. Is that right? Probably you're considered Gen X. I think you're probably Gen X.
I don't really do labels.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. But like, I know the millennial generation, kind of my generation that I fit under that category, we're a little bit more sensitive than the previous generation before. And so like, I know a lot of the times when I interact with older, like people older than me and stuff like that, whether it's like personally or like through text or anything like that, I almost have to check my ego at the door, because like I can tend to lean towards the sensitivity. Oh, what do they mean by this? Or what do they mean by that? And then like, so it does make me take pause and realize I can't take things too seriously or personally. It's not a slight, it's just somewhat of a generational gap too in certain ways. And you know,
during the whole cancel culture years, of course, people are they're raised to be offended just with key target words when they hear it. He said gay. Oh my God. You know, and they don't even like listen to the content of it. They just think, I got you. That's a no-no. And that's part of that whole culture and age as well. But if you want an example of how insensitive the standard was when I was a kid, look up All in the Family. Watch an episode of Archie Bunker.
Yes.
Talking about I don't even want to say, you know, like I can't, the F words, the N words, the J words, everything was just, and he was a character that was representing like a real dude that was a person of that age at that time, you know, and people loved it. It was such a hit. And now we did only have 3 channels at the time, so there wasn't a lot to choose from. But it's very true, though. All in the Family, it had spin-offs like Gloria and
the Jefferson.
Thank you. Good one. Good one, dude. So you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. And and like in a lot of ways too, it was leaning into that aspect of what's offensive and things like that, because it was telling of society at the time, and how like Archie was a little bit closed-minded in a lot of ways. So it kind of like opened that up a little bit too. Like, okay, yeah, he's in his bubble and he's not used to having blacks come in and hang out, or like, you know, if a Jewish person's there, Archie was unfiltered,
But,
so
but I mean, it's really the way it was. I mean, so many of us know people like that.
yeah,
they're real people. Yeah.
yeah, 100% for sure.
Hopefully, I
Um,
can be some help there, dude. If sometimes you're sensitive about a certain subject. If that's what it is, then you just have to work on yourself. You know what I mean? Like I remember for a while there when I was really depressed, I couldn't talk about my dad dying or my dog dying without tearing up. It was just like almost like automatic, like it triggered it. And I was like,
yeah,
oh damn, here it comes again, so it's fair to say I was sensitive about that. It was a temporary thing where my automatic reaction to it was something that I needed to override and retrain myself.
yeah, that's something too. It just, like some of the elements that things that happen in your life will hit you, and that's a different kind of thing that you have to work on. And you don't really necessarily should fault yourself for it. It just is a life experience that happens. So it's just like don't be hard on yourself about being sensitive about stuff, but maybe just take note of it. Huh?
You said hard on?
Hard on. Absolutely. We are sponsored by Blue Chew this week. So I'll pop in the read right now. So that'll be there. But yeah. So Frankie, I think Frankie was the one who asked about it. So yeah, if just make note of it when you are sensitive, just make note. Hey, I'm kind of taking this a little too seriously right now. And that's the first step of kind of like, okay, I can not make a mental note of it. I can kind of handle it and channel it.
No, sometimes if you're sensitive, it's because you really agree with somebody. You know what I mean? Like if somebody is like picking at a certain aspect of you, and you're like, that's not true, but maybe it really is. And so you're sensitive because you're lying to yourself. I don't recommend lying to yourself either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't do that. Because that's another thing. You have to mask something almost. Frankie clarifies. He says, I wasn't asking about anything in particular. I was just wondering Rob's view on sensitivity. So there we go. Good to hear. Maddie adds that he is from Mollywop, Australia. And he said, I'm trying to figure out where that's at. He said, Mollywop, 3 hours south of Perth, West Coast. He's on the West Coast of Australia. Okay. Where's Melbourne at? Is Melbourne on the West Coast of Australia or is that East Coast?
Melbourne. You say like an American when you say Melbourne.
Melbourne? Oh, Melbourne?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the map looks like. I've wrestled in Perth a couple of times, so it's one of the smaller towns that's by one of the bigger towns. I think it's by Sydney, but I could be wrong. It definitely could be Melbourne. Besides, but yeah, someone just is taking me around, so I don't need to map quest it.
You don't know map quest. Don't have to print anything out for that one, or get the almanac out. Maddie, yeah, you should go visit Rob once he's there. It'd be awesome. He says he's got emus and kangaroos.
That's awesome.
All right.
We did get to go to the zoo last time we were in Australia and Sydney and got to go behind the scenes and stuff, and that was really cool. Which, by the way, there's a place in Florida that Katie and I went to. We saw it on Instagram, and there's otters and capybaras and fucking tree sloths, a whole bunch of stuff. And now I gotta figure out what it's called so I can tell you. But it's in so near Cocoa Beach.
Let me see, Cocoa Beach Zoo. I'm gonna type in just to see what pops up.
Yeah, shit.
The Brevard Zoo.
What is it?
Brevard Zoo.
No, but what's the beach that begins with a B? Like, there's a not Broward. Something, I don't know. I'll try to get it.
Is it Amazing Animals? Is there a place called Amazing Animals?
Maybe.
Gatorland?
No, but I've been there many times too. But it's swimming with otters and shit. And whatever the beach is, it begins with a B, and it's something that's not, just like Melbourne and Melbourne, it's something that's easy to mispronounce. Like when I looked at it spelled, I'm like, what do you call that beach? Is it? And I'm almost positive it's a B.
Yeah, I'm trying to look around. I'm not seeing anything. The funny thing is there's actually a Melbourne beach in Florida, like right near where we're talking about in Cocoa Beach.
Look at my Instagram. Just look at it. Look at my phone, Dom. I just fucking.
Oh, let me see. I'll pop the window back up. What? That's me. Is that me right now?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, I think I'm talking about Bad Bunny in the halftime show in that clip.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. Double whammy right there. That's too much, Dom.
I agree.
Yeah. Did you catch all the talk about the halftime show, Rob, with Bad Bunny? How that was a big.
Not very much, just a little bit, because Katie's algorithm is so much different than mine. She kept talking about the Super Bowl all night, and I got like nothing. I didn't even know it was a Super Bowl until she mentioned it. I didn't even know. And then and I got it was like late at night. I finally got like one thing of some people were watching Kid Rock and some were watching Bad Bunny, and I was so out of it. I don't know why. It was not in my algorithm at all.
Well, you're not a music fan. That's the funny thing too. Is like somebody brought me on for an interview, and they brought up out of nowhere, like they were like, because they asked me about the podcast, and then he was like, I find it really wild that Rob is not a music fan, and I was like, yeah, it's just it wasn't his thing, and then I was trying to explain, and you can clarify this for me too, but I think what you were telling me is when you were growing up and stuff like that, there was like kind of almost like this the Kiss, the Knights in Satan service kind of notion about satanicness going on with it. And it kind of made you a little adverse to music a little bit. And then you just never really got into it because it puts you in kind of like a state that's not really necessarily genuine almost. Is that kind of how it goes for you with music? I was trying to.
You know what a lot of it is too is I want to use a different word besides reverse psychology, but when it's something that like everyone else is getting it and enjoying it, and so since you don't get it, you feel extra strong that it's not important to you, so they shouldn't be so happy about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. So what? Sports cars are stupid anyway. I don't want to know anything about it. In the meantime, everyone's, enjoying fucking having the time of their life at a car show or something. Like when it came to dances and stuff when I was a kid, like there was one kid, Jason Clute, and everyone talked about what a good dancer he was, and my ego didn't like that. I remember that, because he was getting more attention than me. And I was like, well, it's so stupid because I watch him, like wiggling his tummy and doing whatever he's doing. And I'm like, so what? Like, I don't, because it didn't excite me. And you know what I mean? But everyone made a big deal about it though. And so I was like, well, I guess that's something he's good at. But it pushed me extra far away from it. Just the fact that it wasn't something I was connected to. So it was like, well, I'm going to double down on fucking making sure everyone knows I don't care to get any better at it and understand it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that is a thing though too. It's like if people really hammer at home, like whatever it may be, any kind of topic, it's just like, oh, I'm not that into that, and it kind of pulls you away further from it when people act like that. So
yeah, I mean, like I used to love comic books as a kid, and I'd be like so excited, like, oh my God, Spider-Man's got like a whole new series coming out. And then, my dad he didn't want me to be too excited about comics because he looked at it like something that was distracting me from my education and from going outside and living life and whatever. So he would always try and discourage it. So if I was extra excited, I'd be like, oh my God, the Hulk's going to fight Ghost Rider. Not that I would do that, but if I was like to come to him with something extra excited about it, he would probably try to like make me know that in his eyes, he doesn't see it as that exciting, so that I would know that's not like my bubble isn't the only world to live in. Where he would be like, "Oh yeah, well, when's the last time you been outside, or fucking kick the football?"
Yeah.
What I mean? I think that kind of stuff pushed me further away, but it's not something I hate or whatever. But yeah, it's not. I will not. I think it's very ridiculous, and because everything's so subjective, like when people talk about, oh, dude, forget it, fucking Bob Seger in the fucking 70s and a cigar, forget it. That's all you need. Whatever the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh, gross, dude. That's your fantasy. I don't even know what the fuck Bob Seger is. That even a guy?
Bob Seger. I love Bob Seger. I love him. Bob Seger and the Silver Bull Band, baby. Night Moves.
So I'm used to that, though. What? Dude, no, man. The best band at all was Metallica, I'm like, dude, you're crazy, man. Slayer. And it's like, why are you guys even talking? I mean, if you like that better, then that's better in your world. It's that easy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But what if you like music that other people don't like? So then they think you're weird for it or something. As a kid, that would happen. Like, let's say I brought polka to school. Something in music, everyone would be like, whoa, but you got to have the stuff that's cool. And that's what I always pushed back against, was conforming.
Yes. Yeah. No. I imagine bringing polka to school. You would not be the talk of the town.
Right.
Yeah.
You would, but not in a good way.
Not in a good way. Not in a good way.
It's Boynton Beach. See how that's hard to say?
Boynton.
Boynton. However you say it.
Boynton.
Boyn. No, Boynton. There's a secret N in there. So Boynton Beach. And it's Animal Adventures, ED Adventures. And those people were so cool when we went there, and I definitely will go back there again. Recommend it to anybody. We had a great time.
Go to Animal Adventures, everybody, if you're in Boynton Beach.
Boynton Beach.
Boynton.
Yeah.
Maddie loves Metallica. I know Maddie just saw Metallica a couple months ago, actually, in Australia. So how about that? Let's see here. There is some super chats. Oh, somebody said, Jem the Don says, RVD and the RVD fam is my dream blunt rotation. He wants to smoke with all of us. Well, that's why we're here every week. You can smoke with us right now.
Someday that's what I'll do, is I'll just be going on tour, just doing a smoke session.
Smoke sessions with RVD. There it is.
I'll be like, been there, done that. Tired of doing all the Comic Cons and WrestleCons, and tired of wrestling, tired of acting. I'm just going to smoke with the fans and go around and do RVD 420 session. Get your tickets now.
Meet up at 420 and smoke them if you got them. That's how it'll go down. Maddie says, you will offend those who don't understand. F them. So those that don't understand, that was in regards to the sensitivity stuff. Let me make sure I got that one too.
People don't like understanding something.
No. People want to be offended by stuff. It seems a lot more nowadays, where it's just like, when
it comes to not understanding, like, people a lot of times are really uncomfortable just admitting that they don't understand. I mean, when it comes to religion,
yeah.
I mean, I can tell you that I don't personally know what happens when you die. I'm very comfortable saying that. How many people watching can never say that, because they have to say, no, I know in my heart I'm going to go to heaven. Really? I mean, you really know that? And that's faith. Faith is believing in something without evidence, but I don't want to open up that door and start offending a bunch of people that I can't talk to right here. But it's a good example of what I'm saying, though, where people, they just, for these reasons, I'm sticking to this answer. I'm committed to this answer, even though if they're being honest with themselves, there's some things that they don't understand. They just don't want to say it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I'm like religious, but hey, I can't tell you what's going to happen when we die. I just don't know. Nobody knows. Right. It's been the age old question forever and ever. Rob, I know you love it. You love it when fans ask you about a particular match on a particular date and what your memories are of that match. I'm not going to do that, but I did happen to look up what you were doing about, was it 20 years ago? 20 years ago, the one wrestler you were wrestling at that moment in time in WWE was Carlito. And I just wanted to ask you, what were some of your memories of working with Carlito?
I don't think I worked with him a whole lot. I've been on the shows with him a lot, hung out with him,
Mm-hmm. How about that? Just in that regard.
Like, cool dude.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've had too many matches with him. I do remember, of course, the in 2005 when I had my knee surgery. I tore my ACL, was out for like 5 or 6 months. They wanted to take a look at me. They wanted to talk to me about coming back, and I wanted more time off. I was like, fuck no, everyone comes back early, and then they fuck their whole careers up, and I don't want to do that. And so I came back, told the WWE doc, I came back for a show, and they brought me in, and then I was like, fuck no, I'm not ready to come back. I want to be 100%, do the 5-star frog splash, just like I never fucking missed a beat, I don't want to come back early. And so they had Carlito interviewed me in the Piper's Pit, and he spit all over my face.
Oh, he didn't think you were cool.
Right, yeah. And then attacked my knee and put me out for like another 6 months.
Yeah, okay. I do remember that happening, actually. Yeah, about 20 years ago around these dates. So like February 10th and stuff like that, 2006, you were working with Carlito a little bit, had a couple house show matches, it looked like.
I guess it was 2005 that I had the 12 months off. So when I came back, obviously we had a program waiting because what happened on Piper's Pit.
Yeah.
And so I had to get him back. But I don't really remember those matches, though.
Yeah, looking at it, you only had about 3, according to CageMatch.com. You only had about 3, and like maybe one was on Raw, and then there was just 2 that were just house show ones that leading up to.
See, I would probably tell you I never worked with him if you didn't tell me that.
Right? Yeah. I
don't remember.
It's crazy. Like, so I just started using Cage Match a little bit just to get some reference points and stuff like that when it comes to whatever I'm doing, social media work or whatever. So it's fascinating to dive back and like, oh, this is what Rob's doing around this time, stuff like that. And I was trying to
take it with a grain of salt, though. It's not 100% accurate.
Right. Yeah. It usually is. You should always really cross-reference them just to make sure. According to Cage Match 2, 19 years ago, you were in the ECW Ecoscape brand of it, and you were working with Hardcore Holly at that time. And so, you mentioned that you did like working with him, right? I know he had his stuff with not Chris Masters, Rene Dupree, but you enjoyed working with Bob, right? For the most part?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, we had some really good matches.
Yeah.
It was fun. ECW was fun. That was an enjoyable part of my career for me, was bringing ECW back. And then with that came so much leverage. And it's not necessarily that I didn't have the leverage before, but I didn't feel it. Like now it's like they trust me to do what I would do if I was ECW. Like I got to show them what ECW is. And so now it's really all up to me, and they know, I know best here in this position, like for these people and for this show. And it just felt so much better. And, like felt like I was responsible for a lot more of the show than it did normally. Just in my head, you know.
Yeah, it was a good motivator. Like I'm sure, like to kind of be like, this is like part of my like baby, almost quote unquote, because like you're the one that really kind of caught the fire of having the one night stand aspect of it all and bringing it back. And so once it became a brand, I'm sure you really did care about it in a lot of ways and wanted to make it as best as possible. And kind of that neat aspect too is like putting the right people from WWE into the ECW brand, but being selective about it. And somebody like Bob Holly makes a lot of sense to have in there, making the ECW brand. But it's a shame it didn't go the route it did. What it
Carlito would have been good too.
He would have been definitely good. Yeah, no doubt. Maddie,
that was like reconnecting, even though some of those fans were the same people that I saw the month before when I was on SmackDown. Now, you know, once ECW was back and I'm out there doing the first round, the first tour, you know, now it feels like I'm seeing all people that I haven't seen in 20 years, you know,
yeah.
And they're like, dude, we love you. And I'm like, I know, I love you. Like, boom, we're doing this.
We're doing it. Yeah, I always thought it was cool. And you made me realize too that it was, the plan was to make you and Kurt Angle the faces of the new ECW brand, right? Was that the original? Was that what the intention was with that?
Whose intention?
I guess Vince's?
You'd have to ask Vince.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, interesting. Let me see here. So are you aware of the fake Bob Holly account that's on X? That's going around on X? You aren't? Okay, right. So people believe this has been Bob Holly for like months on end, but everybody has to keep reminding everyone else on X that this is a fake account. It's not Bob Holly, but he's got like 60,000 followers. And like, so he goes out and he starts saying stuff like about the current WWE product, and people are like believing that this is Bob Holly. And so he's like trashing Sami Zayn, like this is the one here, bro. WWE is going to stretch a sappy, sad sack Sami Zayn angle out another year, culminating in him winning the belt at next year's WrestleMania. This really pisses me off. It's not Bob Holly at all saying this.
It's a lot of following, huh?
And he's got a lot of followers. So everybody, buyer beware. That's not Bob Holly, everyone, just so you know. Maddie uses his membership super chat. How many times have you broken your nose? Headstrong, he says. And then he's like, any tips on concussions after? Tips for foggy brain after? Smoke them if you got them. So how many times have you broken your nose, Rob?
I don't know. I've never had it fixed or diagnosed.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So sometimes, you know, it feels broken, and what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, fucking stick a bunch of Kleenex up in your nostrils and you know, fucking walk around with two black eyes for a while until it goes away.
What was like the most annoying injury to have? Like
annoying.
Yes. What was like nothing that you would necessarily, I got to take time off for this, but something that just like would constantly like, oh, I got to deal with this right now for months on end as I recuperate or something. Is there a certain injury that stands out to you that's like, oh, this is such a pain in the ass to deal with? Like maybe a broken nose or like, I don't know, like a broken thumb. I don't know, something to that effect. Anything that's like really trips you.
When I broke my rib, it took forever to heal because I just kept hurting it over and over again, but it wasn't hurt enough to where I couldn't work. Mm-hmm. So I sucked it up. And it was like, I remember one time working with Randy Orton during this time, and he covered me and it hurt so bad. Like I didn't want to kick out on 0.5.
Yeah.
Because in that point in the match, it just wouldn't have meant as much, you know what I mean? And I remember like just trying to wait for 2.5 felt so long because his weight was on my ribs. And you don't, you're in it at that point. You don't say, hey, can you like scoot down a little bit? You don't. Mm-hmm. And I would never tell anybody anyway, but you know, that if they were hurting me because, that's not the mindset that I'm in. You know, you suck it up. And anyway, it just, I was just like, oh my God. And it just felt like the ref was counting in slow motion because it hurt so bad. So I think that would maybe be the answer to your question. And one of the times that it was almost healed, I think. And then I did this this move with Mark Henry, and you probably saw this. It was on social media recently, and a bunch of people were commenting on it when I'm on this leaning out on the second rope, and Mark Henry runs and does the mudslide on me.
Yeah,
and the way that I sell it, like I rolled out to the floor with him because it was just like so stiff. And that rope just went right in between my ribs, like with all the weight of me and Mark Henry. It was like that rope like flossed between my ribs. Like, and it hurt so fucking bad. It was sore for another 4 months after that move.
Wow. I hear having broken or cracked ribs is one of the most painful things you have to deal with. Actually,
it is. It was for me when I was in Qatar. I broke my rib in a match with Samoan dude. I forget his name in a second.
Was it Zilla Fatu? I think we talked about that.
Oh, we talked.
Zilla?
No, that was the son that I met recently. We talked about. He introduced himself. This dude is not a son of, but like a cousin or something, and been around forever. And
not Jacob. It's not Jacob Fatu, right?
No.
It's
not going to come to me unless you look up the Qatar poster, you know. But anyway, gave me the Samoan drop, and man, someone later said, "Did you hook his arm?" And when they said that, all of a sudden, I just blamed myself completely. But the reason we were talking about it was that I had broken my motherfucker. Mark Henry was there too. That motherfucker. As soon as it happened, like I don't know. However, I got on the shoulders, boom, and as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, and it hurt so bad, and I rolled out to the floor. And I was just sitting there, leaning up against the ring, trying to breathe, and I knew, you know, it was broke. I hurt so bad. And Mark Henry was there. He come up and starts talking to me. I don't know where it came from, but he started talking to me. Like when I was like right there, still leaning up against the ring, and Samoan dude is still in the brothers up there with his manager, and in the ring still, and Mark's like, yeah, you think it's broken? But anyway, he's the one, like I think he's the one, like a little while later, and I was like, oh my God, I think it was Mark that said, you know, did you grab his shoulder? Which when you're up there to protect yourself, you do want to grab the shoulder. It's not something that, I don't know, it's not something that's like drilled into your mind. It's something you learn from experience, at least in my bubble. And anyway, as soon as it said that, I was like, fuck, man, that's what happened. That's why, because when he went back, instead of like hugging his body, I must have fucking rolled out and just took it, you know, sideways. But that was definitely at least tied, if not the most pain that I'd been in, was after that. Like however I made it to bed, like, man, every time I just had to get up to piss, I was like, no, because it was like, it was such a big deal just to get even out of bed, you know? Yeah.
I hear how debilitating that is when you have a broken rib. It just like inhibits you so much, like from everyday kind of life and movement and stuff like that.
It's part of your frame, you know?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It was Olafa you were wrestling. Olafa.
Yeah.
Yep. Lloyd Anoy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so he broke my rib. Motherfucker. Oh.
So when I think it was last week when I brought up the strongest wrestlers, I was expecting you to say Mark Henry. And so
I think but he was mentioned.
Did we mention him?
He was one of the first two, I think.
Oh, okay, because you mentioned Brock and then you mentioned somebody else too.
Oh no. It wasn't mentioned with strongest guys I've wrestled, but I was mentioning guys that have legit world record lifts.
Yeah,
and
that's
mm-hmm.
But
from being in the ring with him, which I only remember. Well, yeah, I guess there was that fucking slide, right? So I don't know what that was, if that was a run-in, if I had a match. I don't remember working him either. I remember working him in a battle royal, which this wasn't the battle royal. Maybe I had like one match with him. But anyway, it just didn't stand out in my mind as, like, wow, this guy's strength is incredible. And a lot of that could just be because of the moves that we did or didn't do, just didn't expose that,
Right. Maybe you were like just doing more offensive moves to him. And he was doing, right. Could be anything for sure. Yeah. But I've always enjoyed Mark. It's crazy too. It's like you look back at his career and he was like, I just watched like Royal Rumble 1998 and he was in that. And like, I was like, man, Mark's been around forever. And
wow.
Yeah. And like he talked, I don't know if you've heard this before, Rob, but he talked about how Bret Hart, like in the Hart, like going up to the Hart dungeon saved his career basically. Because he had such like a kind of like a temper and didn't understand the wrestling business. And so they sent him, WWE sent him up to work, in Calgary with the Harts. And Bret really helped him out and kind of got him level headed about how to handle the business a little bit better. And I always thought, always thought that was
awesome. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, and I'd never know him if he wasn't in wrestling. So I'm glad he is.
Absolutely right. Heck yeah. Speaking of a great guy,
it brings people together.
Yes, he does. Speaking of a great guy, we got Seth. He dropped us $20. Thank you, Seth. If you guys aren't familiar with him, he is the theme song guy. So Venus Beach Dub Club, check him out. He said and support all his music. A Little Higher is the name of the tune for this, for One of a Kind with RVD. So be sure to check that out on Spotify. He says, "What's up, fam? Started my first at ever 72-hour water fast today. Wow, no coffee, THC, vitamins, nothing. I feel super weird, fam. Borderline trippy. How about that?" He says he looked too much into the Epstein files on Instagram and feel dirty. I gotta cleanse myself.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. I watch a lot of videos on fasting. It's kind of, it fascinates me. I do like I guess it's intermittent fasting, just because I usually go like 12 hours without eating, and then then within sometimes 14 hours or so, but then I eat within that window, and it's just like a lot of that's because I'm sleeping anyway, and then when I get up, but it used to be like forcing, like get up, break your fast, if I can. It was like so much work, and it's so much easier to not eat. And like after 12 to 16 hours, your metabolism switches according to the science of it all from using energy in your muscles and liver to actually using body fat for energy. But it takes that long of fasting before you even get there, because first your muscles supply the energy, and so that's why you work out, you try to use up all the blood sugar that's in your muscles, and then afterwards you try to like refill it, and then it's like sensitive and ready to take in, because you just burn it a lot, and so that's part of the building process of it. I don't know if I could fast for 3 days. I definitely could. It's interesting, and I could see maybe trying like 24 hours or so, but I get hypoglycemic too, like where I started getting like really sweaty and dizzy.
Oh, yeah.
Like so I don't. I probably shouldn't fuck with stuff like that. I gotta keep a supply, steady supply of carbs in me. Otherwise, that happens. Always has. Like it's took a while till I figured out what it was. But so I wonder how far he is on the 72 hours. So
Yeah, how far are you, Seth, into it? Like, yeah, follow up with that.
yeah, no coffee. Usually, they say, they always say black coffee's fine, but he just doesn't, for whatever reason, he doesn't want it. But that would also speed up your metabolism and make it so that you want to eat even more. Maybe, potentially that could be bad, giving you energy and making you burn more if you're not trying to, because you're trying to conserve. But I don't know. Don't know what the goal is, but those Epstein files are on my algorithm though, and it's like I don't even know what's real and what's not though anymore. Like after I see the same videos over and over and over for so many times, then I start thinking, okay, chances are maybe those are real.
Yeah.
But
so many of those, man. Yeah, like if you do, I haven't done a deep dive into it, but I do. I listen to shows talking about it and stuff quite a bit, and what you hear is really bad. Oh my god, it's so bad. But it's just like, yeah, and like there's so much content with it all, and it's apparently there's like 3 million pages of it released, but there's like 3 million more that still have yet to be released out too. So
yeah, there's a lot of names too. One thing that was funny that I saw on Instagram, a joke somebody said, they said that Woody Allen is on the list, which he is, and he said that really surprised him because he didn't think he was the kind of guy to cheat on his daughter. I don't think a lot of people are going to get that unless you happen to know. But Woody Allen married his wife's daughter back in the day, and they lived happily ever after.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and then there's apparently a movie that he did where he's like something in Manhattan or something like that, and like part of the story is he's like some like a college age person or older maybe, and he's dating like this high school girl, and it's like was back in this, and like you're like, oh my god, that's really weird. It's just like telling of his own character at that point.
Yeah, he was like when I was young, like like 10 years old and around that age and shit. He was on TV and around like a big name, but I think like way back, like with his name, like Charles Manson, Sharon Tate, and Roman Polanski and shit like that. Like he was way back then.
Right.
But Mia Farlow, was that his
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's. Mm-hmm. Good job. I think you're right on that. Actually,
yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, I know, but anyway, yeah, the Epstein stuff is crazy, and man, there's cartoons on it. Someone made an AI whole cartoon, and who are the Island Boys?
The Lonely Island Boys, the guys, they used to do they were on SNL, so it would be like Andy Samberg and like
those characters.
No, they're like a comedy singing trio kind of thing, and they had like Saturday Night Live segments where they would sing with different artists and stuff like that, and like have like parody songs almost, kind of like Weird Al, but a little bit, but more, like not original or parody songs.
I don't think these are the same dudes though.
Aren't they?
I don't think so. I don't know for sure, but maybe someone in the chat room knows. But I just see some Island Boys that could be attached. Could be something said first that they were his kids, his sons. But
you mean Jeffrey Epstein with Jeffrey?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was.
Yeah, it's definitely not who I'm talking about.
I saw somebody that did this whole huge cartoon, and it had them in it. Like that he was showing them around the island, and somebody went through a lot of work, but it was amazing. But Yeah, you know what? If you play in the Island Boys, what comes up? Nothing.
You see it. I'll type in Island Boys Epstein. Let's see what pops up.
So Sung Yi was Sung Yi the daughter, and then
Oh, maybe that was it.
I'm like, that's what Frankie. That's
Oh,
what
Frankie. Frankie
yeah.
probably did.
The Island Boys with all the tattoos on their faces. Yeah, those guys. Who are they? Are they a reality show or something?
Wait, the Island Boys, Epstein Boy. What is this?
White rappers with stupid hair.
Albums by AI Prophets. I don't know what it is, Rob. I'm afraid to click on it. Well,
They might have actually nothing to do with it. It might just be a joke, but there does seem to be an elite.
I see them.
There seems to be like an elite world that we're not privy to that has a complete different set of rules, you know, and different laws, and might have something to do with, you know, dick swinging. Who's got the bigger power, you know?
Yeah. Well, there it is right there. I've never seen those guys before.
So okay. Yeah. So why are they with Epstein?
Let's see what the captions. Island Boys. Oh, this is debunked, apparently, according to this. Viral photos claiming that the Island Boys as children with Jeffrey Epstein have been confirmed as fakes. Fact checkers found the images were actually AI generated and first surfaced in 2023. The twins have previously denied ever meeting Epstein. So who are the Island Boys? Let me try to figure that out.
Can't tell anymore what's fake and what's not, you know.
Yeah, you really can. It's so crazy. So crazy.
It's still getting better. But there's like an elite world where like there's no laws. They probably do hunt down and shoot and kill people for the thrill of it, just like in all the movies that we see, you know, where there's like prisoners and or what was the one Steve Austin did, right?
What's the name of it? The Condemned, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking of The Running Man before that, and there was
Running Man was great.
With that similar kind of, but yeah, in Dexter too, they did that where, you know, the guy would just fucking let people run around his woods and hunt him down and kill him. I think that there is an elite, like there's a line that we don't see past, that certain elitists live past, where they can rape, kill, they can eat people, they might party with aliens, fucking, you know, they call the shots, they really fucking run everything, and it's so, and I think that it's like so elite that I don't even think presidents are probably, I don't know if presidents are actually, you know, maybe very limited access is my guess at best when it comes to the people who choose, who's really making the calls and shit, you know. I want to get into conspiracies and shit. I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying I believe it, because there's like so much pointing in that direction.
Absolutely. I think, there's like a whole nother ecoscape of people and freaks and weirdos that we're not aware of that have like,
it has something to do with being a billionaire.
Absolutely, right? Like you're on this own level and you have the ability to blackmail and do whatever you want and get blackmailed too at the same time. Like I think people are turning on each other and all that stuff too when it comes to it too. So the Island Boys are SoundCloud rappers. So they're rappers. Lady Nisa, thank you for pointing that out. Glad we know that now. Another super chat. Maddie says, "I'll always love wrestling, cool or not. We like what we like." Okay, so wrestling's subjective, I think. Yes, Maddie. I agree with you. Okay, hold on. With people getting injured, will RVD join Paul Heyman? So many people are getting injured right now. Braun Breaker got hurt, and so there might be an open space for you, Rob, with Paul Heyman.
Hey, man, Paul's got my number.
Call him up, Paul. Let him know. Let him know.
I'm not sure I'll pass the drug test. I got to study.
You got to study it up first.
Everybody knows they're not testing for weed anymore. Everybody knows that, right?
No, I don't know. I was always I think I heard about that they don't do that.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's bigger news in my world because I get it. It gets brought up to me all the time, like in interviews and stuff that they. And lately, after talking about how they don't test for marijuana anymore, they like to bring up that interview that Cody did with man, I can only think of the letter V. What is
Van Vliet?
No. He's a dude that like he paints himself like Venom. He's a smaller dude that does flying.
Oh, Finn Balor? Yo, Finn Balor. He was talking about training, and he smoked. And Finn Balor.
Yes. I always have a hard time coming up with his name. I don't know why, but I think it's Venom, and I don't know. But anyway, Finn Balor. But you know what I'm talking about. So they bring that up a lot too. So that's you know, they want to know my opinion on that, and I think that's great. It's going to add longevity to their careers and their lives.
Mm-hmm. Right? It's like it's what we were talking about too. It's just like not just an outlet, but it just helps. Like, it helps with pain relief and stuff like that in so many ways. You know, it's a good thing. Randy Orton's big into smoking and all that stuff, and I could only imagine that's like, you know, WWE shouldn't really test for that much anymore because anywhere you go now, people are like smoking and everything like that. So it seems just part of it's
the argument. The argument was always, hey, it's a lot safer than the prescription pills that you kind of push them onto because that's the system. You know, as long as everyone's getting their cut, they're okay. You know, you get a doctor that you're paying, and you get a prescription, and then you can take the pills. Boom, 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 and also alcohol kind of push it, you know, and then the prescription pills with the alcohol with the boys' mindset has proven to be a destructive combination over the years. And so the argument has always been, hey, you know, weed, you know, it's not toxic. It's not going to do anything bad, calm you down maybe, you know, unless you're horrible at making decisions. And then that's a whole other issue anyway. You know what I mean? You can get high and then go do anything and then just blame it on the weed, you know. But that's always been the issue. But now it's also legal, and now it's you know, after being first decriminalized and WWE quit testing quite a while. I understand. Like, seems like it's been a couple of years. Since I heard about it, that was removed from the banned substance list. That doesn't mean that you can be smoking in the dressing rooms or get caught smoking and driving or whatever. Which by the way, when I got pulled over, it wasn't for smoking and driving. It was for possession. We weren't smoking it, but it just smelled really strong. And it was in the center console, and I was speeding. So that although that it would have just been a speeding ticket now, if anything, and it wouldn't have made it to the office's ears. But if I did, or if a wrestler did get in some kind of a traffic violation that they could blame on the weed, then I would imagine still be subject to some kind of penalty, just because, you know, that's a whole different issue. But they don't test for it. It's legal now, and it's a wiser choice. And if they, you know, I mean, you're adults and you got to make adult decisions, and you're really, no matter what they say, you're kind of, in the end, you're going to be in charge of yourself, because they can tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do any of this, and then there you are in a hotel room all by yourself. In the end, you know what I mean? So you got to have your own personal policy that gets you by.
Absolutely, right? Yeah. What works for you exactly? The Boston Brat asks you this, Rob. How much green is an appropriate amount to bring to a show where RVD will be performing, say in a few days' time? Asking for a friend.
My favorite is pre-rolled because then I don't have to roll it up. It's already ready for me to spark it up, and I usually don't have much time because I'm usually on my way in or out of a building, getting picked up, dropped off, going to the airport. So pre-rolls is my preference, and you know, it depends on how long I'm there. So I had one guy. It was right before Battle Creek. Sometime I was in the area, I think, or maybe it seems like they got met. It seems like I was somewhere in the area a couple of weeks before the Battle Creek show from the Battle of the Creek a few years ago. Anyway, one dude came by though, and he had like a box of pre-rolls, and that was a gift. Like he gave it to me. Maybe it was in a bag. I was thinking, I don't know if it was a box or a bag. Now that I think about it, there was a bag involved. But anyway, man, it looked like there must have been like 50 pre-rolls in there, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! This guy understands.
He gets it.
Yeah,
he gets it indeed."
Yeah, then it becomes more of the agenda, you know, no matter what else you got going on. Plus, I got to smoke all these.
That's it, right? Holy cats. Seth follows up about, I think this is pertaining to Epstein and stuff. RVD, here, I'll pop it up here. RVD, did you know or believe this level of evil was widespread? I thought it was just a couple of serial killers, not a whole culture. Scary.
I don't know shit, but I just know that there's a lot of evidence out there pointing towards a privileged level of living where you're privy to different rules, different knowledge, different information, different accountability standards, and it's crazy, some people think anybody that gets famous has to join the Illuminati. I've been accused of being a member before from
You have?
yeah, just from like, yeah, but, oh come on, man, of course you're gonna say no. And I don't know anything about that either, but there's definitely secret societies like the Illuminati, like the Masons, that have always been there and they have some important function that we don't realize with society to at least some extent. When it comes to this elitist billionaires level, every time somebody of that stature gets some of their life exposed, and it's connected in a way of this above society living, it just becomes more material, and less imagination. It's just it's hard to be surprised now, they're talking about eating people,
Yeah.
I can see, like, if you really just think, like, I don't know. I mean, if it's something to do with power, and you really, really get off on thinking that, man, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and I'm entitled to this because this is my status. You know what? I want to know what it's like to cut someone's head off. Fucking make it happen. Boom. you know, and I definitely believe that not just that there's like he's saying, not just that there's serial killers and freaks out there, but that there's a whole level, a society of people that together share this weird privileged in their eyes kind of fantastic fucking bubble.
Yeah. Like George Carlin said, it's one big club and you ain't in it. You know, it's, I think that's, and to Seth's point, I didn't think it was that widespread, but I thought it was like widespread enough that like a whole bunch of politicians were involved or certain aspects into this other level of like, hey, we're all in on the joke, but all you peons and groundlings aren't, basically, is kind of how I felt. But like to the level that this Epstein list has gotten across, it seems like a way much bigger deal than any of us could probably have fathomed with it all. So pretty wild. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Taking the Happy Hippo.
Cool. Thank you, Happy Hippo.
Yes, thanks indeed. No doubt. Happy Hippo. RVD 2026 is the code to use. Jem the Dawn says, just wanted to say thanks for the time and effort you guys put into the show. So many good times, and you all have definitely helped me through some bad days. Man, thanks, Jem. It's awesome. Sweet. I had a buddy text me. I texted him the 5 mob recommendations video, and he texted me back, and he was like, there's no other wrestling show that is like this on YouTube. There's nothing else like this show. So
I wonder if anybody listening checked out any of those mobsters.
Check them out. If you haven't, I just posted that clip, everybody. So go to RVD recommendations. It's the latest video that's up there, the latest clip, and fascinating mobsters. Rob gave a little bit of detail on them last week, but you can do a real deep dive after you watch the clip. Maddie says, "Smoke 'em, Van Dam. Here's to being the 1%." So there you go, Maddie. Thanks. Did you have any recommendations this week, Rob?
Yeah. You know what? I want to look, see if I can find those slides real quick.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
And then I'll do that.
Okay, no problem. What I will do is I will read one of our advertisements in a moment. If I can pull it up real quick. This week, Rob Van Dam, like I said earlier, is sponsored by Blue Chew. That's right. Fellas, if you already know what time it is, it's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt, gold-plated energy. Blue Chew Gold is the newest innovation from the 1% chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's blue pill. No, this is the 4-in-1 beast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking the ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to turn up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves under your tongue and works in just as little as 15 minutes. That means you can get it on quicker and away and stay in the game longer. Elevation without hesitation. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RVD. That's code RVD. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Thank you, Blue Chew. And like we mentioned before, check out Happy Hippo, RVD 2026. And what Rob's getting right now is at Greek Glass. Go to GreekGlass.com or go to RVD420.com. There's limited glassware still available with the RVD aesthetic going on, and they're really super cool, as Rob will show you here once he gets back. But yes, very, very cool stuff. As far as everything else, be sure to, if you're tuning in live right now, be sure to hit like, subscribe, whatever channel you're on, whether that's the RVD YouTube channel, but you can get the podcast content, clips, and full episodes, everything at rvdtv.com. We're almost at 21. No, I think it's 22,000 subscribers now on the channel. So we're growing. So get the word out about this channel and help us out. And yes, we typically go live every Monday here. So if you're liking what you're seeing, be sure to support the show in that manner. Sweet. So trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Oh, this week I'm back with Fonzie. Fonzie and me will be going live on Wednesday on rvdtv.com. Fonzie and I will be talking about him refereeing the match between Fujinami and Ric Flair for in Tokyo. So I'm gonna watch that whole show, and then me and Fonzie are gonna talk about it on Wednesday night. Fonzie will be back. It'd be nice to reconnect with Fonzie here. So we haven't had the show in a couple months. So it'll be nice to do right down the middle again with Fonzie. So cool. Did you find the sliders, Rob?
No, and I think that what I thought was the sliders really wasn't. It was something all along. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna start doing a weekly bong hit, at least as long as there's still some bongs left, which there aren't very many with Greek glass. But good idea. But right now,
yeah,
I need a stem. And there's not that much water in it, but I got water. That's not the problem. But anyway, right? Yeah. So we'll wait till next week, and then I will hit that and cough. But while I was looking for it, I found a couple of Sabu's.
Look at those.
Yeah. These were inherited from his personal collection. You can see he autographed that one.
Yes, he did.
And then after he passed, these were in his house, and I took them, and I will be building a Sabu part of my wall, but all in good time. But anyway, I just grabbed those because they were where I thought the stems were, and now they just made an appearance. And to answer your question, didn't put a lot of thought into this, I wish, but it's something that I anyway, don't judge me.
Judging.
Here's RVD's 5 recommendations. All right.
All right. For this
week, Mobsters last week, so I'm just going to tell you right now. These are 5 mobster movies that I'm going to recommend.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay. It's not always going to be mobster related, but this is something that I can do without really necessarily thinking about it or having it prepared. So, FYI, that's why I'm doing it. I'm cheating. But here's the deal, though. These are going to be like my 5 favorite mobster movies. So my first one is, and we're using our high digital effects.
The big whiteboard.
Casino is my favorite of the mobster movies. A lot of people really like Goodfellas, which I'll go ahead and tell you, Goodfellas is number 2, and I love Goodfellas too, meaning also, but for me, I feel like Casino is the Goodfellas of the West Coast, and I just am extra drawn to West Coast history because there's less of it, I feel like, as far as, especially when it comes to Mafia in New York alone, they had 5 families, that ran. And so it's like, it's part of their history. It's part of their nowadays. But when you talk about, like, say, the Los Angeles crime family, something like that, there's not that much done on that. There's movies, books, all that stuff. So anyway, Casino's awesome. It's basically about the Las Vegas Mafia. It came down from Chicago. They were already here, Bugsy Siegel and all that. But this Joe Pesci's character, they call him Nicky Santoro, but the real character was Tony Spilatro, and he was the boss here, and he made a lot of news when he was here. And 70, well, I think 73 till they killed him in 86. So during those years, and and so a lot of the history here was underneath his reign. Casino, same guys as in Goodfellas, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, a bunch of them, right? Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago because I was telling you the dude, I always call him Tom Brady, but it's the guy that's Venom, Howard Brady. No, that's a wrestling promoter.
Oh.
Come on, he was Venom, the actor.
Oh, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, legend.
Yeah, legend. Tom Hardy. He plays.
Yes.
Boom. That's gonna be my third on my list.
Wow. Okay.
He plays the Cray twins. Incredible job. I really found the movie entertaining. It wasn't just because of his acting exhibition. It wasn't just, oh my God, you got to see him play two different people. No, that was amazing. But also, I just like really enjoyed the story, the drama. And it's about a tag team of twins that's in England, so you wouldn't have heard of them. Although there is a brief appearance with Chaz Palmartini, however you say his name.
Or, yeah, I know who you were talking about. No, I'm wrong.
Palmaretti, Chaz
Palmarini.
So that's all right. Anyway, but he's there, and if I'm not mistaken, he plays Meyer Lansky, or he plays Bruno. He might play Bruno, and he's partnered with Meyer Lansky, Bruno from Philly.
Oh,
can't remember right now, but anyway, it's a nonfiction kind of drama, which is all that I'm going to recommend. So, okay, number 4 is going to be Kill the Irishman.
Ooh, I heard good things about that.
So, Martin Scorsese took the same crew from Casino and Goodfellas, and they made this really long movie called The Irishman, based on a book called I Heard You Paint Houses. This isn't that. This is about an Irish mobster in Cleveland during the 70s, and he works his way up the Union. It takes over and has a war with the Italians, and there was like, Alexa, how many bombings were there in Cleveland, Ohio during the war between the Irishmen and the Italians?
More than 30 bombings occurred in Cleveland during the 1970s gang war between Irish mobster Danny Green and the Italian Mafia. This violence earned Cleveland the nickname Bomb City, USA. Would you like to learn more about Danny Green and his role in the Cleveland gang war?
Yes, but later. I'm busy right now. Thank you. Yeah, Danny Green. I was trying to come up with his name too. But anyway, boom, they're blowing each other up, blowing cars up, boom, boom, boom.
Got it. Robert?
Hey.
Catch you later when you have more time.
Ooh, Robert. She calls you Robert.
Hey.
Hey.
You're embarrassing me, Alexa. Friend of my Van Damme fan. It's a good movie, and I recommend it. And they were blowing each other up, and Danny Green was like, they blew his house up, and he didn't die, and they kept trying to kill him, and they couldn't. That's why it's Kill the Irishman.
Oh.
He had a bounty on his head, a contract from the Italians. They wanted him dead. And everyone was trying to kill him, and they kept failing. And at one point, they had blown his house up, and he had an empty lot. And he would sit there in real life. You could see pictures of this that they reenact. where he's sitting there, like he said, I think like he set up office like in the empty lot, and he's standing there, and he's even on the news talking on the camera saying, "I'm not a hard man to find," and he gives the address, 232 Oak Street, whatever. I'm right here if you want to kill me, and everyone's trying to kill him, and he had big balls of steel. All right.
Yeah, that sounds like an awesome movie.
Yeah. All right. So now I need one more though. What should I have? What should I put down? There's that. I can't. There's been so many movies on Al Capone. I think Kevin Costner with the Untouchables, and again Tom Hardy in Al Capone shitting his pants as an old man. Wasn't one of my favorites. There's a lot more that are. There's one on this crazy couple, Wannabes, but there's more than one movie with that same name, so you got to look for it. The one that's about the couple, Wannabes, and they went around and started robbing the social clubs that the mobsters were hanging out at. They would bust in while they're playing cards or sit at the table bullshitting, and they would rob the mobsters.
Oh,
stupid! Like how that's going to end up. But there's a movie on that called Wannabes, and I think that's good too. But to make my top 5, I do got to go with what's probably an obvious choice, and that's because it's another Martin Scorsese movie, and that's Irishman, based on the book. Yeah, I heard you paint houses, and it has to do with Jimmy Hoffa and the death of Jimmy Hoffa, and it's based on the book. It's not necessarily all true fact. I mean, in that book, and I read the book way before they did the movie. This guy Frank Sheeran worked for the union, and he became Jimmy Hoffa's driver, and he worked for Russell Buffalino, who was a boss in Pennsylvania. And then Russell Buffalino introduced him to Jimmy Hoffa, and told him, that he kills people. He's killed people for Jimmy Hoffa. People don't know that about Jimmy Hoffa. But anyway, he claims a lot of shit too, just like Richard Kuklinski, which is another movie that I chose not to recommend, but it's good, is The Iceman. On Richard Kuklinski, but he claims in his book that he killed Joey Gallo, and also so does Frank Sheeran. Also claims that he killed Joey Gallo, and neither one of them killed Joey Gallo. So that's why, they're versions of the books, and you got to look at them as that. But he did kill a lot of people, and maybe he did kill Jimmy Hoffa. I don't know.
Wow, yeah, that's always been the mystery, and yeah, The Irishman does paint a picture for it for sure on what it is. I remember I saw that in theaters, and it's a long movie, but I did enjoy it. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot to ask someone to sit through 3.5 hours or whatever it is if they're not a big fan of the. Of that, or have read the book.
Yeah. And I thought it wasn't certainly not my favorite Scorsese movie. If I had to pick, I think I would put Casino as my favorite Scorsese mob movie for sure, just because I do like Las Vegas and that kind of atmosphere and stuff. And I thought it was different than Goodfellas is good too, but yeah, I think I like Casino better than that. I like Donnie Brasco a lot too. Is one of my favorites.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that one up. I like that as well.
I'm a big Donnie Brasco fan. I like that one a lot.
Yeah,
with Al Pacino and Johnny Depp, and Michael Madsen, good one.
Yeah. Which was the FBI. The guy that Joe Pistone was the guy's name. FBI agent that. Pretended he was a mobster named Donnie Brasco, penetrated the Bonanno crime family through Tony Mira, and then ended up working with Donnie Black, and and he was there for like 6 years or something. Like everyone
Really?
thought they knew him, they trusted him, and everyone has seen Donnie Brasco. It's a really, but I mean that shit really happened, and the guy is still around. He does interviews and stuff. You can find him. It's real interesting. I read that book and the sequel, which it's not a sequel, but it's stuff like that he says was left out, from the first one. The Bonanno crime family, because of that, they were kicked off the commission. And the commission is the ruling panel of the 5 families in New York. And sometimes there's the 6th family on it, but from New Jersey. And also from Buffalo, the Magadino crime family sometimes. But anyway, they were kicked off. And so when Giuliani brought all the bosses down, he made a commission case and brought all the bosses down with the RICO when they just learned how to use that and used it for the first time to prosecute the mobsters. The Bonannos thrived then because they were kicked off the commission and they escaped that.
Wow. Whoa,
Because of Donnie Brasco. Yeah.
No way. I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah.
How about that? Man, yeah, that's a great movie. I know that I'm missing a couple of mob movies that I like, but no, you named some good ones.
There, Jack, what is that guy? The actor, the guy
Jack
from
Nicholson?
The Shining. Yeah, thank you. There's one where he plays a kind of Whitey Bulger-ish character.
Oh, The Departed. The Departed.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I could do it. I guess that is a mob movie, right? I always kind of looked at that more like as a police kind of movie.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a mob movie.
But it's loosely based. I mean, it's not really. But they call him Frank Costello, and that really was a mob. Obviously that was a real mobster that was real important back in the day with Lucky Luciano and forming the commission and all that. But the Departed is not close enough to any actual. It's just based on, I think, the fact that like the FBI agent John Connolly and Whitey Bulger had that relationship going between the FBI and the mobsters, so that's what it was based on.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not one of my favorites, honestly.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It is probably one of my favorite Scorsese movies. But yeah, I guess I never really labeled that.
Not The Departed. That's not a Scorsese movie, is it? No way.
Yeah, that's a Scorsese movie.
No way.
Oh yeah. He won the Oscar for that one. That's the one he won the Oscar for.
I can't even fucking. I don't even get it. I don't even see the connection between like that and like the really good fucking Goodfellas and shit. Like it's not even the same style or anything. That's weird.
No, it's a Scorsese one for sure. 2006, I think that movie came out.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder
Scorsese one.
Chat room to see if anybody dropped any. And I mean, obviously, there's The Godfather.
Oh my gosh, yeah, The Godfather. That would be up there for me too.
But
that's fictional.
It is, and it is based on a lot of real stuff, though. But like a collection of a bunch of real stories put together with a fictional blanket over it. Yeah. But obviously, it's a good one. The Offer, if you want to consider that a mobster movie, but that's a series. That's it was a couple years ago on Prime. Prime, I don't know, Peacock, something with a P. The one of the channels that I got just to watch that, but it is about the making of The Godfather and how they had to deal with the mob while they were making it. And
wow, yeah,
Joe Colombo was there for it, and had to sit with the writer and approve the script, which he had the word mafia taken out. They weren't allowed to use the word mafia in the movie.
Oh,
and it's The Offer. It's really good. It's really entertaining, and a lot of people know that that's what happened anyway during the Colombos, and they had to use some mobsters in it too.
Yeah, well, I know too. Like the character Johnny Fontaine, who was played by Al Martino, the crooner, was based off of Frank Sinatra, and like that kind of aspect with all that stuff.
Yeah, there's someone else that I read also that recently. That wasn't Frank Sinatra, it was someone else, and they said that he was based. But I can't remember that motherfucker's name right now. So, but yeah, it's not so cut and dry with that.
Yeah,
there's another dude that I don't know, the music industry, they used to get the shit beat out of them, like no royalties, low pay, and then make the music industry and the mob a lot of money.
Oh yeah, no doubt. A lot of ties going into that for sure.
Like Frankie Valli and Four Seasons, like during that whole time, the doo-wops songs, all that shit, those guys were getting ripped off so bad.
Oh, I believe it. That's crazy too. Frankie Valli has the ties with Joe Pesci, and then I think Frankie Citro was talking to us a little bit about that, wasn't he? Maybe
I think sounds right.
Mm-hmm. I have the USB. I just uploaded the episode for Frankie, so I got to send it to him. So
okay, nice.
This is going to Frankie Citro, everybody. FYI, so you know. All right. Let me. Oh, we did have one more super chat. It was Seth. He said, "I'm a busy guy. This is the only podcast I make an effort to catch live. The more RVDology I get, the fewer mistakes I make. Love you guys." Thanks, Seth.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
About that. Need some more RVDology, according to Seth.
Yes. Yeah. It is good stuff, Rob. It is good. Well, this has been a good episode. We can close it out with that, I guess. So 5 mob movie recommendations, and no better person to ask than Mr. Rob Van Dam. He likes them a lot. And
enjoy.
Speaking of crime families.
Right. Yeah. True. Oh, also, Sean Penn played Mickey Cohen, and in the Cohen versus Dragna War of Los Angeles. What's that movie called?
I'm Googling it. Sean Penn.
Oh, I was going to ask Alexa, but if you're on it.
I'm on it. I'm on the case.
Alexa,
Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that movie.
Enjoyable. I mean, it'd be on my list somewhere. Not the top 5, but I liked it.
What about Public Enemies? That movie. You remember that movie?
Yeah. So that's not so much mobster, but it's about Johnny Dangerous. Not Johnny Dangerously. Jack Dillinger.
Yes, John Dillinger. That's yes.
John Dillinger. Yeah. You know who Johnny Dangerously is?
Isn't that Michael Keaton? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a mob movie I should watch again.
Is it a mob movie?
Well, I mean, he plays a mobster in it.
Oh, okay. So I've only seen the videotape cover of it when I was like a kid.
Walks around town. I wanna be dangerously. And he's like fucking. It's like a. I don't know. It's like a musical, yeah. Like when Chris Jericho and MJF did that weird gay music where they were singing and dancing, and but I watched that so many times as a kid. What was that called? Johnny Dangerously, that movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Alexa, what was the movie Michael Keaton did called where he played Johnny Dangerously?
I think it was called Johnny Dangerously.
The movie is called Johnny Dangerously.
Looks like
you win.
Okay, shut up.
You're so mean to Alexa.
At one point, though, like I remember watching that movie like over and over. Man, I wonder what year was that?
She answered. You told her to shut up.
She's still, I know, but I can see she's still listening. Bitch, I know you're listening. I see the blue light. All right. But it seems like, God, if that was, I think that was like one of the first movies I fucking saw on HBO, like on a TV actual movie. Alexa, what year was the movie Johnny Dangerously made or out? or fucking watched.
Johnny Dangerously was made in 1984.
Yeah, so I'm 13 years old when I made that shit. All right, shut up. Go away. Thank you. Good night.
Wow. I didn't know that was that old.
Alexa.
All right, Robert. Have a great night.
All right, Robert. Thanks.
Dude, so the kid across the street, Eric Peterson, he was my best friend through like the younger years of school. Like we hung out a whole lot. And one time, like his mom and dad got split up, and he would stay there on weekends or whatever. And one time I went with him to stay at his dad's place, and that was the first time that I'd seen HBO. And so apparently I'm 13 years old or something, you know, like around that age. And we didn't have it. We didn't even have what was called cable vision eventually. We didn't even have that yet where we lived. And I remember watching Johnny Dangerously, and it was just so entertaining to me. And I saw it, I'd watch it, you know, like every so often over the years. And that used to be like, yeah, like one of my movies, one of my go-tos. And it is, I gotta watch it again now because it actually is Mobster, but it's a comedy. It's silly. It's funny. What else did I see? Real Sex. Remember HBO had that show, Real Sex?
Oh, I remember hearing about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw that there at Eric's dad's apartment. It was like, whoa, what? They interview where we go up to people on the street and ask them questions, you know. We're with Real Sex. Do you prefer missionary or doggy style? You know, or weird shit like that. Skin, something. I saw a movie there that same weekend, Deep Skin or something. John Ritter, Skin Deep, maybe.
Skin Deep. Maybe that. I love John Ritter.
Yeah, find that. It was damn. This is my first time ever.
Skin Deep, 1989. Skin Deep.
Wow.
Vincent Gardena.
But that couldn't have been in '89 though, right? Because then I'm graduating.
That's what it says. 1989, a comedy romance. American dark romantic sex comedy film written and directed by Blake Edwards, starring John Ritter. Is a successful author with a weakness for alcohol and beautiful women. The tumultuous course of his life takes a dramatic turn when his mistress, Angie Smith, catches him cheating with her attractive hairdresser, Tina. It's discovered by a perilous encounter.
Maybe I was 18. What a deprived childhood if I was 18 the first time I saw HBO.
I didn't see HBO until like later on. We never had HBO when I was a kid. Wow. Did you ever see the Heavy Metal movies, the cartoon Heavy Metal? Yeah, but not very much. But I've seen it, and it was really cool. And then I couldn't find it again. First time I ever saw cartoon titties was Heavy Metal. Mm-hmm.
It was hot.
It was hot. Yeah. I did miss a super chat from Frankie. He did happen to ask, what would restore pro wrestling to its 1996 to 2001 greatness?
A time machine.
That's a good point. Yeah. We got to get a time machine going then. Wrestling's cyclical, though. So like everything else, I think. So it just peaks and valleys. And, you know, I don't know.
But also everything evolves. So it's not going to ever be like how it was then. You know what I mean? Like, remember, like when I used to ride my bike when I was a kid, it would be cool to do a wheelie and be able to go like 2 or 3 driveways worth, right? Like, whoa, I went from Borderman's all the way down to Gagne's or whatever, all the way to their driveway, you know, and you try and beat it. And then eventually, you know, like we'd make a ramp and jump like a few feet on it. And we thought, you know, we were Evel Knievel and shit. Now they do shit that we never even thought of, you know, that was so far before extreme sports.
Yeah.
And by the way, one of the things that I liked about Ghost Rider when I was a kid, in the comic book of Ghost Rider, he would do shit that Johnny Blaze was the human host, and he was a motorcycle stunt rider, and he would perform at carnivals and shit. And he would do shit back then. This is in the 70s that was at the time thought of as impossible, but now they've blown all that away. You know, like he took his motorcycle, he would do a handstand on the handlebars while he's driving the motorcycle across the tightrope, and it was just like, whoa, only in comics, you know what I mean? And then, you know, like that was like so cool and cutting edge way back then. Now that we see people doing, you know, motorcycle or bike and fucking five flips and you know, fucking hanging off in the air, doing the RVD in midair and the splits and getting back on the bike and, you know, fucking juggling eggs and then fucking landing on the front wheel and you know, it's like you can't go back to how it was. You just can't. It's gotta keep moving in that direction, and every once in a while it might anchor or stick in somewhere where it starts to form into something. But besides that, it's got to keep going. It's got to keep moving, you know?
Absolutely. I think something that might help too is just like more of a focus on the personalities and the wrestlers themselves instead of the move sets, you know, like, you know, we talked weeks ago with Vince Russo about like the cool factor and where that all went. And I think the aspect of wrestlers certainly keep an air of mystery about themselves, but also an unattainability, but also your personality. Like what made Rob Van Dam cool was like he was laid back. He didn't take things that seriously, but when he was in the ring, he kicked ass. And like, you know, or you look at the outsiders, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, or you just name Stone Cold Steve Austin, more of a focus on that. And like if they and combine with the new move sets and that evolving, you could have something really creative and hot. And so it's just a matter. And I think where society is, if it matches where society kind of lines up and what people are hungry for, then you could get another boom period happen. But certain things.
I think what we need more of is for wrestlers to just really show they're crazy by sticking their tongue out and going, nah.
That's what I look for.
Yeah, more of that. We need a lot more of that.
Mm-hmm. That will get you back, Frankie. So there's your answer. Yeah. Tongues out more so.
We need, please, wrestlers, put your tongues out. Let us know you're just crazy. You're just zany. You baddie characters, you.
That's it. Well, that's it for this week.
Shut up and take my money.
You want me to go to WrestleMania in Las Vegas? I want the Roman Reigns and CM Punk to stick their tongues out. That'll be it.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. More of that.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. Well, hopefully everybody got what they needed this week with One of a Kind with RVD. It's been fun, Rob, and we'll have to do it next week, God willing.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all joining, Van Dam fam.
Yes.
KB is out running around and stuff and visiting Saba, so we're still trying to get the one baby home. Yep.
My best to all of them and to Saba and Karma and Katie. And thank you all for tuning in this week. We appreciate everybody. And it's a good little community we got going on here. So we'll be back.
Check out my RobVanDam.com appearance page if you want to see if I'm coming to a town near you. But I got a bunch of a lot of posters up there, a lot of appearances. I think they're all up there. I'm not sure if July 4th is up there yet, but I'm going to be in Mexico and the convention. Yeah, I saw Big Show and Sting and Kurt Angle and who else? There's like 3 other people on the poster. I can't put faces with them right now. But anyway, yeah, just something to tell my fans, you know, because I'm going to be out there on the road a little bit in between not being on the road. So thanks, everybody. Peace out, hoes. You know,
peace out, hoes. We'll see you next time here on One of a Kind with who? With RVD.
Dom D'Angelo.